Bigfoot, undisputedly the world's most entertaining cryptid. Join the Reverend Jeff Kelly and your old pal Wes as they discuss the best and worst the media has to offer. Movies, books, TV shows, commercials, all on Bigfoot Entertainment Weekly.
This program may contain adult language, content, and graphic discussion of gore. Parental supervision is required.
Is your portal in danger of being found? Are you being harassed by book salesmen and geologists? Well, we have the solution for you.
Doc Johnson's Portal Protector. Just 2 squares of our product and jackasses can't find your portal. Even with a knife.
Well, that's right, folks. Even when your portal only exists in your mind, a couple of squirts still does the trick. Let's hear from a customer.
Well, the first time I used Doc Johnson's Portal Protector, it failed miserably. I was in Tijuana, and some guys took me to a bar, gave me some drinks. They was free, too. But when I woke up the next morning, man, my bum was sore. And I tried it at this place up in Oregon called Soho. I didn't get it. Anyway, when I woke up the next morning, my bum was sore again. Fuck. So I'm just giving the fuck up.
Oh, fuck. That's not helpful at all. Let's hear from a different customer.
My portal wasn't no Satan either. I was going out on a blind date. My friend hooked me up with a prison date named Cosby. And I woke up the next morning, my portal was sore as fuck too. Not sure this product works at all. Need my money back, y'all.
Well, folks, these people are the reason it says not for internal use on vaginal jelly. We'll try and find better reviews for you next time on... Well, there you have it, folks. Thanks to Doc Johnson's Portal Protector for sponsoring the show this evening. I am your host, the Reverend Jeff Kelly, and with us tonight is a special guest, Dr. David Batdorf, Esquire. How you doing, buddy?
Good. I'm excited for this because I get to curse and say bad things about people.
Exactly. And we're probably going to start off this evening with a whole lot of screwing somebody up for the moment, but I'm going to actually change the cable view just because it's important. That's what's going to happen right now. Anyhow, that's right. Tonight we're talking about shooting Bigfoot with Sir Wesley Losner of Lounge.
Hello.
How you doing, buddy boy?
What the fuck's up, everybody? Are you ready to shoot some Bigfoot?
That's right, shooting Bigfoot. Morgan Matthews. I didn't even look at the IMDb because we got way too much to talk about tonight. Screw what their storyline actually says. Holy crap. So we're all sitting around one day and we hear this, hey, you know, there's some British guy out there making a Bigfoot movie with Dallas and Wayne, Rick Dyer, and Tom Biscardi. And what did we all say about it? This is gonna fucking suck.
No, what I said is I want to see this.
Yeah, it was like that car wreck that happens in front of you that you just can't take your eyes off of. And your old pal Wes is our guide to take us through it tonight. So let's get it started tonight, buddy.
Yeah, okay, well, also, like, it did have a whole bunch of, like, hype to it because supposedly the ending, you get to see Dyer's Bigfoot, you know?
Right.
And didn't it only, like, show in, like, Canada or some shit like that?
It released it released originally as one of those, one of those film festival type things, and they were hiding it hush-hush, and they were trying to keep it all secret.
All right, well, like, in some of the documentaries and movies that we've done, you get that whole, like, okay, well, we're going to show you some scenes through the documentary and then tell you what I'm doing, and then we're going to start the show. You kind of get that, but then he never does go back to talk to the dude at the Bigfoot Discovery Museum anymore.
No, exactly.
You know, so it's like that whole scene was just a scene that they just completely cut out of the movie, I guess. But yeah, so you get that, and you see dude, at the Discovery,
Mike Rugg
and everything, and he's talking to him for a bit. And then you get the cool-ass animation. And when I saw this, it was like, okay, well, I'm going to give this movie more of a chance. Because this shit, the beginning was cool. It reminded me of, like, Shaun of the Dead kind of art, like, and just, like, I like that, like, in the movies.
It reminded me of, like, a Charlie Brown special type of edition. What do you think, David?
I think the whole movie, like, was really well done, but definitely the way that it grabs you in, like, thinking that this is not just for us as people who are interested in the Sasquatch phenomenon, but, like, just grabbing people in and, like, let me tell you a story. Let me tell you a story. Like, that's what that was to me. And I think that was well done.
Yeah, and plus when they show, okay, like, in the very beginning you're getting all, like, what was that documentary? That was who? Ivan Marks?
Yeah, that was the introduction. Yeah, it was Ivan Marks in the very beginning of
Bigfoot,
The Legend of Sasquatch.
Yeah, you get Ivan Marks, all right, and then you get Mike Rugg, and then you get the kind of, like, Pacific Northwest, like, run through, and then that's it. And that's kind of like the only, like, legit shit that they talk about Bigfoot for the rest of the
from there on out. It's like the most ridiculous stuff of Bigfoot ever.
But that's what I'm talking about. Like, they do a really good job of like pulling you in. Like, hey, let's talk about this. Everybody, gather. Yeah. Let's get serious for a moment. Just a
moment, though. I got your attention now. Let's get into the stupidity.
Yeah.
So the first people that you get to see in this is who I call the most credible people in Bigfoot research, because if you call them a hoaxer, he'll punch you and lay you out. And that's Dallas and Wade.
Dallas and Wayne, that's right. Yeah. The most serious guys in Kentucky Bigfooting. I mean,
think they really believe fully in their heart they are seeing and hearing what they are hearing, and, just...
Yes, I totally, 100% agree. Dallas and Wayne are genuinely presenting to you what they genuinely believe that they've convinced themselves is evidence of Bigfoot. What do you think?
Yeah.
They're not doing that for YouTube hits. They're not doing that for any other reason than they're trying to share with you what their amazing experience is, and that is their experience. You can't take that away from them. That is their experience. They truly believe these things that most of us would think are too much to bear, but that's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, that's okay. I love them.
It's not our research area. That's for Dallas and Wayne to decide how much is too much.
And I love these guys because they're an analog for a whole portion of the Bigfoot community. So every time these guys show up in a documentary, I mean, people take stabs at them, but that's part of this whole thing, and they're doing their own thing on their own terms, and they're having their own experiences, and they're not trying to pull one over on you. Let's put it that way.
Yeah,
exactly. They're honest at what they're trying to do, at least.
Yeah. So then you get that San Antonio call.
Oh God.
With the homeless person and the Bigfoot, and then you get your introduction to old Tricky Dicky.
Old Tricky Dicky. Dick Ryder. I mean, Rick Dyer. That's right. Now, why do we hate Rick Dyer so much? Okay, in 2008, the rubber Bigfoot hoax in the freezer. The rubber Bigfoot is hanging out in the freezer. And
wait, verified by
Tom Biscardi.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
We'll get to that whole mess in the middle. And I remember I tell the story all the time, but I love the story. I'm out working. I'm going from client to client, and I'm listening to the radio, and I'm like, dude, Georgia country boys have finally shot and killed Bigfoot, and they have it in a freezer in their backyard in southern Georgia. And I'm like, fuck yeah. Hell yeah, I'm really happy somebody finally got a Bigfoot. So all day long, I'm listening to the little news hits. They talk about it. I listened to a talk radio show, a station in Orlando at the time, 104.1, and they're still there. And that's all they do is talk radio. So, of course, every single show all day long talked about this Bigfoot for at least a friggin' hour, right? And they're looking at the pictures of it, and they're talking like this is a big deal or something. I finally get home. I roll up into the garage. I boot up my computer and I look at the pictures. I Google it. Georgia boys Bigfoot freezer, and I hit images and I went, oh damn it, that's a rubber suit with possum guts. Shut the damn screen off, walked inside and had dinner. That's how just uneventful Rick Dyer was in my world, and I just watched the whole buildup of all of that. Ugh.
Yeah, well, that's trash. See you later.
But apparently the rest of the world didn't think so, and now he's still doing documentaries with this jackass.
See, I never caught the. There's two guys that said they got Bigfoot. I caught the late one that was. These guys hoaxed trying to say they got Bigfoot. So I didn't get my hopes up,
Like they did this like right in the uprising, like when Monster Quest was at its peak and Finding Bigfoot was just getting off the ground. It was the perfect time for them to do that, and we like because the hoaxing and the just douchebaggery and the fuckery was not what it became after that. So they got away with this easily, and everybody bought into it. And at that first headline, and like, oh my god, really? And no, not really. So anyway,
not really.
And we'll get into a little bit more of that later.
Yeah.
But fool me once, whatever.
Go fuck yourself.
Twice.
Yeah.
No,
not twice. I don't give you these. See, in Reverend Jeff's world,
he hoaxed before 2008 too, didn't he?
I'm sure he had tried, but he didn't get famous with it.
With like
in Reverend Jeff world,
picture
it's fool me once, go fuck yourself. I don't have time for the second time. I'm done with you. You screw around with me one time that I can't believe you. I can't believe you ever again. Ever.
Yeah. So speaking of old Rick, he meets up with Matthews or whatever the fuck that dude's name is.
Yeah, Morgan Matthews.
Yeah. So he meets up with Rick, and Rick's in an SUV, and he's got this little blonde with him, and he didn't even know her fucking name.
Oh my god. It was funny.
And isn't the dude married?
Of course he's married. He's married to some Spanish lady.
Yeah, so then he's like sitting here talking, oh, she's got pretty eyes, huh? And it's like, you just made this girl feel awkward as fuck, and so then he's talking in the truck about how he's gonna fucking... Basically, and then he's talking about how he's gonna fucking have to shoot this Bigfoot because God wants him to shoot this Bigfoot because he was a hoaxer before and now he's seen the light or some bullshit.
I will repent on camera.
So then, the girl, she's like, well, I'm vegan, like, I don't want you to kill it. I didn't know you were gonna kill it. And so there's that whole dumb scene. And you get scenes, they then start talking about how Rick Dyer was a hoaxer, and you get the news shit of what was going on, and you get fucking introduced to everybody's favorite fucking old Bacardi over there.
Oh my god, Mr. Tom Biscardi.
Fucking douchebag. Anyway, so...
No, give me a Snapple.
God damn it.
Yeah, basically... But he's in there in the first scene, and he's like, fucking... I mean, like, dude, I'm fat, all right? So I can say these things, all right? So, bro, you're putting yourself on a fucking movie. Stop fucking eating. Like, there's like seriously 4 scenes of dude eating, like, and just like,
yeah,
come
but
on.
no, that was Morgan Matthews choosing to put those scenes in the movie. Dude, there had to have been probably 100 hours of friggin' video taking, and Captain Douchewagon chose these particular scenes of Biscardi to put into his movie. Trust me. Biscardi would not have only allowed just this trash to go.
Or was Biscardi really just trying to scam a lunch out of these films?
Like everywhere they went, they were eating.
Yeah, no, seriously. And plus, like, I don't know. I mean, if you look at this guy in every scene that's fucking got him in it, he's basically a piece of shit.
Yeah,
definitely. So like, I don't think they maybe had hundreds of hours with this fool. I think that's literally how he fucking is. He's a fucking douchebag. He yells at Joan and he's telling her to shut up and stuff and everything. Which, you know what? Like,
Hey, Joe,
kinda,
every time you make a noise in there, this guy's got to make an edit. You know, we can hear all that shit out here. You know what? Just don't move. Motherfucker, if you told me not to move in my own house, I would have smacked you with a frying pan and
Let me think of this straight. You and your whole fucking movie crew can get out of my fucking house.
Yeah.
Joe, poor woman. I feel for you, baby. Hey, you know, there's some domestic violence phone numbers in your town, baby. You can pick up that phone and get some help. Holy shit.
So after he berates Joan for making a noise with a pan, like literally, I barely even heard this shit. She could have been fucking beating a fucking dead horse back, or a live horse back there. And from how he reacted, it was like, I didn't even hear anything. So poor lady. But anyways, right after that, dude's heated. You can tell he's already like, fucking wife, I gotta beat something. You know? And so then he's like, come on, Matthews, come watch all the movies I fucking made. Right. So then he gets mad at fucking Matthews when people are talking about how fucking Biscardi paid these motherfuckers 50 grand. Yeah. And he's all, you could tell right away, like instantly a liar freezes up and starts going, and their eyes start moving side to side, and they're like
thinking of another lie.
Okay, what the fuck am I gonna fucking say? What? You talked to who? Like acting like these people weren't even known. It's like, oh my god. So he goes off on fucking Matthews and is like, fucking don't film me. Turn that shit off. And then as he's walking away, we get our famous fucking...
This one right here.
Favorite quote.
Joan, give me a Snapple.
Yeah, so then he fucking...
I don't want to do this anymore. Turn the camera off. Joan, give me a Snapple.
So after he's got his blood sugar taken out of control and he got to go outside, punch something hard, pretend it was Joan. He comes back and he starts telling everybody, you know, fucking all you other people, you call yourselves researchers and blah, 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 blah.
You're doing shit wrong. You don't know what you're fucking doing out there. I know what I'm
cry for you, mama. It's like, oh, God, dude. So then his testosterone and anger flowed through the universe and traveled to our next scene where Dallas and Wayne, it's a scene and Dallas is explaining, like, you know, you call me a hoaxer and I'll fuck you up and I'll get you. I'll come and get you. You know, like he has that whole scene as he's fucking driving or doing something, whatever the fuck he's doing. So then
he knows what the fuck he was doing. He was doing something.
Yeah. So then the very next scene in my notes, this is where I just wrote, like, seriously, like, he's an asshole. Okay, Dyer. I know you're gonna watch this because it's shooting Bigfoot. So I know you searched it up on fucking YouTube. You probably heard about it because you pay attention to the Squatchers Lounge. But dude, you're an asshole, right, bro? Okay, you know it. We all know it. Okay, cool. What you did, everything. But you are like the greatest fucking actor I've seen in a Bigfoot movie. And we review Bigfoot movies. We review Bigfoot movies, dude, and you're like the perfect person for these movies.
Absolutely. Tom Biscardi is a character. He's like Reverend. He's got to be like Reverend Jeff. If y'all think that I'm like this in real life, you got some serious. This is a character I play on YouTube. It's the way it's always been. But Tom Biscardi is literally the greatest character in any Bigfoot movie ever. And remember who he was trained by? He was trained by the greatest. Oh, you were talking about Dyer. I'm thinking Biscardi's a fucking clown. He is
but he's not acting. Dyer was pretending. He was lying the whole time. That's what I'm saying. Like, he knew he was lying. Like,
yeah, that's the beautiful thing. Like, when you realize, like, you know where somebody's coming from, and you see him selling it.
Yeah,
the way that he does. I'm like, wow,
he's good. He's good.
You're good. Yeah.
Hats off to you, Dyer. Hat is off to you, bro. You deserve an award for your acting, and I think people should give you more roles in Bigfoot movies.
If at least it was a real, if we knew you were in a Bigfoot movie, we would know it was fake, and you wouldn't be trying to pull it off as real. That's the sad one. If he was in a real Bigfoot movie, he would probably claim that he shot a real one on the filming location of the.
But that's the thing. You just don't tell him. Don't tell him that it's going to say that it's not real. Just let him say that it's real, and he will stay in character. And it's good. But then, so you get, what's it called? That funny line that Dyer says, because the Matthews says something, and you get some kind of degree.
Can you get a certification in master
Yeah.
strategy? Can you get a certification in being an asshole filmmaker?
Yeah. Which is funny, like it was funny. I'm not gonna lie, like that shit had me laugh. Like even after seeing it a couple of times, I still laughed at that. And then he gets that whole little scene with his daughter and how he's.
That was creepy. That was a very, very creepy scene for me. Like, why? That was just creepy. Sorry, it just was. All right, we'll move along. It's creepy.
That's just, you don't get it. Like, that's how devoted to the character he is. He's lying to his daughter.
His kid.
Yeah.
Oh,
like, dude. Emmy.
Or maybe the kid was like his
Oscar.
Like his quote unquote wife. It was just like a stand-in person they found. Like,
oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. So then
could have been an actor kid.
You never know.
Like his actor wife in the truck.
The kid was looking like it was trying to remember its line. Daddy, is Bigfoot real?
So then you get so you get the whole because this movie basically is going to go you're looking at fucking 4 TV screens and you keep moving your fucking head.
Exactly, it keeps bouncing from one location to the other location, from Dallas and Wayne to Biscardi to Dyer, from Dyer Biscardi to Dallas Wayne.
Yeah, it's really
very little of actual Dallas and Wayne squatching. It was mostly them in the Save-A-Lot trying not to spend $5 on a can opener.
So you get introduced to.
But come on, we've all been there, exactly there.
Yes, we were there last June.
Yep.
You get introduced to Biscardi's crew, and there's that whole scene, and he talks about this guy being an ex-forest ranger, and he's just hyping up his crew, and he's proud, and everything. And then you get the weird scene that I didn't understand. But Dyer arranged to have some kind of drug deal scenario where he buys a gun.
Oh my god, dude! Morgan Matthews had to have been terrified. Okay, Brits don't. They've been disarmed since the '60s, so they don't really get what the whole American connection with guns is. And I'm sure Rick told him, "Oh yeah, it's real easy to get a gun in America. Watch this." Makes a phone call, I'm sure off of a Craigslist ad, or just a gun site ad. Go, yeah, I'll buy that gun from you. They're both in Texas, and at the time he lived in Texas and had a Texas license. So all they had to do was meet in the friggin' parking lot of a Walmart, anywhere, exchange money for gun, and it was a completely legal sale. And all of a sudden now, Rick Dyer is armed with a deer rifle. That's kind of scary. I mean, gun laws in America, God bless America. I'm all for it. But that's Dyer, and we know he's an idiot.
Running around shooting in the dark later, so yeah.
Yeah. Okay, all right, I'm drawing okay, so I'm drawing a blank at, sorry, brain fart there, at what my notes are saying right here. Apparently I laughed really fucking hard at this scene. I've smoked the memory away that fast, but James from Arkansas, does that ring a bell?
Oh my god, yes.
Okay, I love this guy.
So Biscardi is sitting there. David, do you know this scene?
Yep,
Go ahead, you describe it for us.
No, yeah, you'll remember it better, but I remember I remember my feelings about this scene.
Okay.
I have parentheses Rocky.
Yeah, right, exactly. So here they are. They meet this guy in the parking lot. Yeah, I'm not really too. I'm kind of concerned about having my face on TV. So they call him Rocky in the parking lot. Yeah, this is Rocky. That's his real name. So they put that into the movie already. They cut to Biscardi's house, and here they are sitting in Biscardi's house with an interview set up. Yeah, we're going to call him James for now because he doesn't want his name out there. That's why his face isn't on TV. So tell us, Rocky, about your sighting. So immediately starts off with, and then Morgan Matthews goes, hey, you just used the guy's real name. He's like, oh, did I? Fuck, I didn't even know.
Yeah.
So tell us, James, about your sighting.
Oh man.
2 questions in, he calls him Rocky again. Oh.
But then you get a good view too of Biscardi's character, and he's such a fucking asshole, and he's impatient, you know, and he's being a dick to every single person in the fucking room, and even the guy he's interviewing, he's like, I don't have all fucking day. What's going on? Let's
just hurry up, get this over with. We got shells and pasta
bang this out. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
this is a good time to take a quick break and give shout-outs to the chat room. That's right. If you're out to the chat room, we'll say hi. Mark Hansen is out there. Rod Dupree, I see he's checking in. The Life and Times of Jesus Christ of Monterey Bay, our old buddy Jevin Melor is out there. Let's see here. Matthias Simpson, how you doing out there? Good to see you. Alex Salcido. Hey, I think I pronounced that properly. If not,
Salcido.
That's right, maybe Salcido. I don't know, but I was close. Dick Jones got a dick in the friggin' chat room. Always a dick hanging out somewhere. Andrew Jones is in the house as well. It's about time you chatted, or I was going to skip you again this week. Thanks, guys, and back to the show. Mr.
All right, my bad. All right, so
we're getting past the Rocky interview with Biscardi.
Yeah.
Oh my God. We got shells and pasta waiting for us. We ain't got time for this shit.
Oh no, that's further on, yeah.
Okay.
But
it's always food though.
So it's back to Dyer and his little perv out moment with his blonde mistress. And they listen to the San Antonio call again, and then they drive up and fucking start looking for bums and start talking to this like little group of people that live in the fucking, you know, behind Walmart. And
to be fair, it was a Home Depot.
Yeah, it was behind the Home Depot.
Because you know, like if you're really gonna build the ultimate tree structure, you have to have the right tools.
That's right. You know, you're always gonna need something from Home Depot when you're building in the woods.
Yeah, that's another one of those where you actually like look it up on like Google Maps, Google Earth, and you're like, what the fuck are you doing there, guys?
It's like it's just like a case by highways. Behind the Home Depot.
It's like a junction point, like nothing around there whatsoever. Morgan Matthews is probably going to this filming location, going like, "What the fuck?"
And we're gonna sleep back here with homeless people for 10 days.
What have you done? Are you gonna shoot a homeless person?
But he already paid him, probably. So
that's right. He paid him enough to get shot.
So they're interviewing these guys, and this guy starts telling this story, and he says, "I have to do this because this is fucking Bigfoot Entertainment fucking weekly, and we talk about this shit." So he says that it sounded like a fat lady farting. And then he started going, you know, like your big sister, you know, and she's standing real close to you and she just lets out a wet one. Like, he's like literally saying that. And it's like, oh my God, dude, like that was funny as fuck, and that is in the movie. Like, so then, what's it called? So he says he heard it, and then he came up and beat it with a frying pan. And it ran off.
Yeah.
So then after that...
Damon Sasquatch, get up on out of here right now!
Yeah, you turn your head to the next screen, and you see that we're going to go, and we're going to see Dallas, who... He's very talented. He knows many languages. He's a man of many languages.
Yeah, it's like having a remote control where the last button is stuck. And it's just going through the 4 last channels that you have. And it just clicked over to Dallas and Wade. Quick.
Yeah. And Dallas seems to be very knowledgeable in shaman Indian language.
Yeah, I know which shaman Indian language is interesting, but I guess all shamans and all different Indians speak the same language.
It just sounded like he kept saying, cheesesteak, mama, cheesesteak, mama.
She's a steak mama.
She's a steak mama. It just like, seriously, it really like, once I heard that, I was just like, fuck, that's going to be in my head for now on calling Bigfoot. Yeah, so then you go back, you turn your head right back to fucking Dyer because Dyer started doing something interesting, and they're walking in the woods, and he falls over, and he's walking, and
They're going
so then
to put up camp. Yeah, and
Yeah,
he's walking
and,
in these brand new cowboy boots.
yeah, so Morgan Matthews gives him shit about his boots and fucking,
I like my boots.
yeah,
But
so
they're
he
brand
does
new,
that.
dude. Those aren't your boots. Those are brand new boots.
You
They're not
bought those boots to be
old
on
like
camera.
Yeah.
And when a pair of boots are 10 years old, then they're your boots. When they look like that, those are still Kmart's boots.
The whole deal, like, with the cowboy boots is that you don't take those out into the woods, even if it's just the swamp behind the Home Depot, because they're meant to ride the horses, not to stomp in the swamp.
No, see, no, you can't be a city slicker and buy a brand new pair of cowboy boots and do it. I watch Smeeha do it constantly, dude. That's where he walks the mountains in cowboy boots. But he's bad enough to kick the shit out of whatever comes along in them damn things. I watched him walk 9 miles in cowboy boots in the Sierras. I can't watch Dyer walk from the car to the friggin' 1,500-yard campsite and behind the fucking Home Depot in them.
So, he builds himself a nice very, very small, petite little fire.
Puts up a tent. What was that fire? Well, I guess it was just for cooking. You're gonna cook on all the trash.
Like you can't even cook on it. There's no heat there. It's just to make light, basically.
Yeah. So then you turn your head because fucking Biscardi wants some attention, and you get his mission talk and everything, and how he's talking. But then,
I'm gonna bring one of these creatures home, not because it's anything, but because it's a heart thing.
I got 7 stents in my heart. I don't know how much time I've got left. I want to get this thing discovered.
But turn your head to the left because cheese steak the mama, cheese steak mama, mama, come on mama, cheese steak mama. I love these guys, and I'm going to start fucking doing that whenever I get my ass back out in the woods. I'm going to fucking do that and see if they fucking talk back. So they kind of have this, like, goofy little argument about who brought the Bigfoot hot dogs and who brought them bread. And they were like, no, I fucking brought them the hot dogs.
I brought the hot dogs. No, you didn't. I brought the hot dog. No, I brought the No, you didn't. I brought the No, I brought the hot Well, you can
so
say
then Wayne
but I brought
gets up
the
close
hot
to the
dog.
camera. He's all, I got them. I love those guys, man. And you know what? Later on, this is another you'll see why I fucking really love these guys. But
they fight like a married couple. That's the best part.
Yeah, because they're just they're buddies, But so then Biscardi is pizza, and he's getting phone calls, and he's like, I don't fucking invite anybody down here for anything. I'm inviting my fucking son for this because this is big time. So he's like fucking back to the pizza. So you turn your head back, we're with Dyer again, all right? And fucking Dyer's in the woods running around with his fucking gun the first night or some bullshit, right? So then you fucking...
Because that's what you do, right?
Yeah.
You just run around pointing a gun into the dark in a
Amongst all the homeless people.
Yeah, camp full of homeless people behind the Home Depot off of the junctions of the highway.
Yeah. So then you get this scene, and you get to see why, like, Wayne is such a good dude, like, because Wayne's, like, walking through a city, and he sees a lady that he's known for a very long time, and she's laying out in someone's yard, like, sleeping. You can tell that he's, saying she's an alcoholic and stuff like that, and he gave her $5 and everything, and it's just, like, he's a real good dude, you can tell, like, he's helping people out, and he doesn't even have a job.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and he's not the kind of guy that's going to fucking do the kind of dickhead shit that a lot of these fucking people do by strapping on a suit and fucking putting videos out there or fucking making fake things, like, they're just legitimately doing what they do, and they believe full-heartedly. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah. A good point for you guys should do not just another Bigfoot movie.
Yeah, no, we are. We're going to get to it.
Oh, yeah. It's on the list of things to do soon.
To-do list.
And then right after that scene with Wayne, you get kind of a backstory on Dallas and how like he used to do
Bridges.
bridge work,
Bridge construction. Then he fell off of a side of a building, twisted his hips, and crushed a vertebrae in his back, and that'll put you right the fuck out of the construction business pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then this is the funniest thing, and it just shows what a fucking piece of fucking dog shit Biscardi is
As if there was a question. Let's continue to just make this point.
He is walking around with someone who is from England, right? Britain, right? England, right? He's British, right? He's sitting here in front of these people that fucking saw Bigfoot and they're going out on their land or some bullshit. He's like, he doesn't know our customs and like he's treating him like he's from fucking Zimbabwe
or right.
like he's going, bro, he invented your fucking customs, like,
they are the founder of your customs.
It's like, God, you're such an idiot, dude. Like, oh man, God, I hate that guy. And then so he's sitting there and then he starts talking about something and he's like, you bet your sweet ass, like as he's talking. He says some funny shit, so you gotta give him that. But
you said ass.
Yeah.
Say it.
Oh, is that a theme every time I say that?
Somebody's finally picking up on it. Yeah.
Yeah. Cracking codes was not my strong point. But, so you get your first interview with this fucking, I don't know, psycho tweaker, Oh,
Mr. Airplane Man?
I don't know. No, the fucking dude in the fucking woods with Dyer.
Oh, the meth head.
Yeah.
That kid was like, all right, Jeff, you got a cool name and all, but you a scary motherfucker living in the woods, and just get some help. Cause seriously, bro, you really look like you need some help. Get some help. Somebody will help you.
Okay. So we get to this guy. Now, we're back with old Bacardi, fucktardy. Hold on real quick. I'll be right back.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
What the hell? Oh, he's got an emergency at the house. But we were talking about where Biscardi was. Oh, that guy. Man, this cat is now running around. This is, if you guys don't know who Tom Biscardi is these days, he's the guy who has the public. They've gone public with their company trying to sell shares in Bigfoot. And that's where they are nowadays. Him and his son are running around trying to do.
I'm really sorry about that.
But we're back.
Yeah, I'm really sorry about that.
It's all good. We
Yeah.
covered it. It was only 20 seconds. We're pros at this shit. Emergencies happen, bro.
But yeah. So Biscardi's doing his new thing.
Yeah, and then so Dyer talks to that tweaker, and then right after that, Dallas leaves the room, or leaves Biggie a fucking can of mackerel.
Yeah, can of mackerel. They like mackerel.
Yeah.
How do you know it's Bigfoot that takes the mackerel, Wayne? Oh, because we know.
It was just, it was funny, too, because it was like on a bale of hay or some bullshit. Like, it's like right off the freeway or some bullshit. But anyways, yeah, so there's this whole scene, we're back with Bacardi, and fucking, it's night, and they're barely walking in, I guess, and Chico, the Navy SEAL super dog old man, falls into some water, and Biscardi loses his fucking shit.
Oh my god, I would have gotten, dude. Biscardi not only would have gotten clocked by me in his house for laughing during that friggin' interview with Rocky for being such a d-bag to his friend. Hey, why don't you shut the fuck up? I got news for you. If I'm ever standing behind you and you tell me to shut the fuck up, expect to punch in the back of the fucking head for me. Just understand it's coming. This would have been number 2. When I'd have gotten up out of that water from him laughing so fucking hard, I would have turtle tapped that bitch until he was crying.
Oh, man. He
what
was
a
dying.
dirtbag.
He was dying. He was losing his breath. He was laughing so fucking hard. And this is one of his friends. So,
And
anyways,
the other thing too, when you're watching this, turn the captions on so that you can get the closed captioning on it. Oh my God, does it make it that much better? Because it was captioned by the Brits.
yeah. So anyway, so Dyer talks to that fucking tweaker guy again for a little while, and
Was that when he was showing us how to? Oh no, not yet. Okay, yeah.
He's just talking about conspiracy shit and surviving the apocalypse at that time.
Oh yeah, that's when he was showing him the knife. I do this. I train with the knife, throwing.
No,
it into
the knife scene is right when he brought over the dog.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, this is when they just started interviewing him again. He came over with the cowboy hat.
Oh yeah, now all of a sudden he didn't have a cowboy hat. Now he's got a cowboy hat.
Yeah. So then right after that, Biscardi's guy. Oh dear. All right. So there's this guy that
we changed channels again over to the Biscardi channel.
Yeah. And this dude, like, he's full on like one of those Nephilim UFO wackadoo. Like,
yes, I loved that this guy made it into this film.
This guy was amazing.
It kind of rounded out
all the crazy theories.
Yeah, all of everything that they put into this film. It kind of rounded out the whole feel of things for me.
Yeah, but the only serious shit was the first 20 seconds of the Pacific Northwest, where it was like legit sightings and things in the beginning with Mike Rugg, and even though it's Ivan Marks, whatever, he still was in the beginning of all this shit before, I don't know, Ivan Marks, I don't know, even though he's a douchebag.
He's still like the grandfather of Bigfoot documentaries.
Yeah, so it's like but yeah, so this guy, this fucking woo dude, I don't know. No, he's not woo because he's UFO. So what are those guys?
He's thinking Biggie and UFOs are completely related. So they're going to investigate with this guy. He's going to take him to his secret night hot spot where the UFOs fly around.
But Tom Biscardi is like, okay, you got to check this guy out. This guy is legit. This guy is great. And then they're there, and it's just like,
yeah, he sees an airplane. And you're seeing a fucking airplane, and he's like, you can hear the fucking propellers, guy. Like, you take those things off. Can't you hear that? You can hear propellers. And it's like, no, but what if it's a UFO disguised as a fucking airplane? Oh my god, dude.
Well, if your aunt had balls, she'd be your uncle.
So this is a funny scene because it reminded me of you, Rev. And there's dude's still looking at fucking airplanes flying by, thinking he's seeing UFOs when he's out on a Bigfoot expedition, and he starts talking to Biscardi about something, and you just hear Biscardi. Just because there was a moment in some time in our lives where someone was talking and Rev might have passed the fuck
I'll tell that story. We're sitting around Louse Camp when we went on the Bluff Creek trip a couple of seasons ago, and we were all sitting around the campfire, and when the Rev gets tired around a campfire, he just kind of closes his eyes. Well, they were still talking to me for like 10 minutes. Somebody went on and on and on and on about conspiracy theories and something or other, and all of a sudden he says, "What do you think, Rev?" And the next thing he got back was a right there in the camp chair. I sleep by the fire in my camp chair a lot on Bigfoot trips. Why not?
So that night that Dyer talked to that tweaker again, he put a rack of ribs out on a tree.
Right.
All right. So then he goes to check the fucking tree, and there's this scene where you get one of those kind of jokes that they like do, that kind of wink wink kind of jokes, and so I love Brits for that because they do that kind of cheeky comedy, but so like there's this like joke where Dyer's talking and he's saying, see, the only thing that could have took that was Bigfoot, and it's literally like, I'm sure Dyer's like 6 foot maybe or shorter than that, and he fucking, so it's not very high. It's right there. You can reach it. And he was all, no, I put it really tight on there. You would have had to jerk it off to get it off of there. And it was
Jerk it off to get it off.
So
of there.
Matthew says, so you think Bigfoot jerked off meat?
Yeah, I think Bigfoot jerked off a piece of meat.
Yeah,
and that's what Dyer said in response.
Yes.
It was amazing.
Yeah, it was funny. So Biscardi, back to the Biscardi channel. And he talks about his fucking he talks about basically the fucking guy, you know, and he's talking about how the guy thinks the fucking UFOs are fucking, he's like, this guy's wackadoo and shit like that.
I'm with like the craziest bastards in the world right now. Every freaking one of them, they're all fucking crazy. It's like laughing his ass off at his on the phone with his wife. Oh.
And then you get this scene where you meet Dallas's wife.
Yeah.
And then you're like, holy shit. He's got a fucking wife. Good for him.
Wow.
You know, you're proud of him, you know, and fucking, so that it's funny because she's like fucking talking about him, and the last fucking thing that she says, and I don't think she knows this, but the last thing is she's describing him. Yeah, he talked about this, and he's retarded like that. Man, that's the last thing you fucking hear, and it just goes on to the next scene and shit. So, while probably eating some fucking gas station chili cheese dogs or something, Biscardi gets a phone call, and he gets invited to fucking see some fresh Bigfoot information. Some shit just got down, so he invites the cuckoo bird to go with him. And so he fucking starts on that phone call, and he's calling his wife, and he's basically like, the guy's standing right behind him, and he's all, I got the cuckoos in the cuckoo nest with me. You don't understand. It's great. And he's laughing his fucking ass off. Like, the guy behind him can't fucking tell. Like,
that he's talking about him.
He's not the foreigner, buddy. Like, he's the guy.
I'm right here.
Yeah, but he's not the brightest bulb in the friggin' box.
No,
there, bro.
I mean, well, yeah, he thinks UFOs are disguising themselves as airplanes. Yeah. So, that was funny. And on their way to go, right directly, 30 minutes after fucking making fun of this fucking guy, and Biscardi just doesn't give a fuck. No fucks are given on his expedition. That is the theme of his expedition.
Throw it all to the wind.
There's a fucking car crash, and the fucking mystery space cadet fucking guy is the guy that is fucking in one of the accidents. So they stop and they go to check to make sure he's okay. And then the guy's like, yeah, I gotta go to the hospital. They're gonna x-ray me. You guys go on with the mission. You know, like, they're like, you must go on, save Narnia.
You're going to find, like, it's a quest. Like, you're on a quest that you know exactly where Bigfoot is, and you're going to go pick him up. But, and then Biscardi, the captain fucking douchebag.
It's like, fucking, come on, let's go, let's get out of here. And Matthews is like, you're not going to go to the hospital with the guy? And nah, man, we got linguine and clams waiting. Linguine and clams, come on.
Look at him. The dude had an accident. He didn't die. Thank God. He's okay. He's good. Let's go.
Yeah, we got shit to do. Fucking linguine and clams. So after that, you're just like, wow, what a piece of shit. So the director's got to fucking win your heart back into the movie, so he brings you back to Dallas and Wayne.
Yep, change the channel again. Click, click.
Yeah, so, and they're pointing at some trees. You know, they're doing that, look over there, and doing his Elvis, you know, pointing skills. Like, look that way. And so then right after that, fucking, you get Dallas talking about how he can hear Bigfoot because he's got half sheep bone infused into his skull, so now he has animal DNA. So
I remember that, yeah.
He can fucking see Bigfoot because sheep bone DNA equals
Bigfoot.
Right.
So start fucking them sheep, guys.
You're never gonna get sheep DNA unless sheep fucks you.
Now I want to know what was on the menu in Soha. Were they having lamb chops after they fucking fuck these sheep, and that's why they're seeing Bigfoot? What if Johnson got the idea? You control portals through a sheep's anal fucking cavity.
There's a couple of squirts of Doc Johnson's portal protector, and your portal will be protected in all occasions. That's right. You got to talk about our sponsor for the night.
Doc Johnson.
We're light.
Yeah.
Can you still hear the lambs, Clarice?
Oh man. So Biscardi.
Thanks for the reminder. I was laughing too hard to do it.
There's a scene where, in true Biscardi fashion, he's trying to get a deal on his cheap Motel 6 room.
Yeah, my God.
And
Why
he's
is this
like,
smoke coming from out in there, and it smells like piss out here? Dude, if it smells like piss in the lobby, I'm not renting a fucking room, okay?
Yeah. Oh, man. So then, after they check into their hotel and get cozy and everything and order their hookers for later, because that's my theory, Biscardi goes out.
Hookers for now, duh.
Biscardi
Hookers
and his
don't wait.
crew, and they go on their hunt for about 20 minutes, and then Biscardi gets tired and needs Snapple. And so you get bored with Biscardi, so they cut to Dyer, and he has this kind of heartfelt moment by the fire, and he's talking to Matthews, and he's telling Matthews, I don't got no friends, and he
Well,
kind
wait
of has
a second. Let's really talk about what this moment is.
Yeah.
A text comes in, Dyer, and Dyer's sitting there sending a really, really long text message to somebody, and Morgan goes, "Who's that?" And he goes, "Oh, nobody, just a friend." Well, I can't really call him a friend, and that's when Morgan goes, "Well, do you have many friends there, Rick?" No, I don't have any friends. Well, no wonder you're a shitheel. You got fired from your correctional facilities jobs for hokiesing the fucking world. You don't deserve any friends, you shitbag. Oh, I'm sorry. A little bit honesty came out of the reverend there for a moment, but anyhow.
Well,
But also, he's playing right into the camera. He took the cue, he ran with it, and he's doing what's proper, which is why he gets the
acting award.
The acting award of our bigfooting endeavors here.
Yeah, because he gets angry and has himself a Kylo Ren, outburst and fucking, yells at fucking Matthews, and they fucking go walking off, and as they come back and they're they find fucking Matthews' tent fucked with and some dirty ass ribs in the tent. He's like, I'll sleep in there.
Tell me the truth, Rick. Did you do that? Rick, are you fucking with me? Did you do? I gotta sleep in there, Rick. It's like, dude, could you sound any more like a sissy? I mean, no offense. Just a little bit of tone in your voice. Just drop it. Just don't. And everything's not a fucking question, okay? I know that's the way y'all's dialect is, but
yeah. The question shouldn't be, Rick, did you do that, or did you pay somebody else $1 to do that?
Is that who you sent that text message to, you jackass?
Because we're in a homeless camp, and if you provide them with some food and say, hey, I need you to put this over here, and here's $1 and some food, I don't know.
Did you give that tweaker a cell phone with his new cowboy hat, too?
Right. So Biscardi, you find out, is a religious man, which blows my mind because he's such an asshole.
Boy, dude, all the people in churches are hypocrites.
Yeah, well,
sit all week and pray on Sunday, brah.
They pray and then fucking, literally, 5 steps into the expedition, because Biscardi's that fucking good, motherfucker. He finds juvenile prints and literally does the jump up, kick your heels, fucking shit right on camera.
Don't step on that. No, move your fucking ass around here. What the fuck are you doing? Don't you know what I'm Biscardi. There's a juvenile print right there.
Yeah, so he's calling some dude that is on the land.
Put him on them. Yeah, put him on that lead.
All right, and he tells the guy,
we got tracks.
We got tracks. We got this. Oh, okay. Do this. Bring me a Diet Snapple and a glass of ice. A Diet Peach Snapple and a glass of ice. Bye. It gets off the phone.
Get me a Snapple.
Yeah, it's like, are you fucking serious, bro? I laughed my ass off just hearing that shit, because it's like, dude, that's the guy that put you on the land. You're treating him like a fucking... What a dick, dude. So then fucking... There's a scene where you get to see that Biscardi's not trustworthy one fucking bit, and he's like, I need privacy to talk about tonight's thing, like, you know, and everything, so get the fuck out of here. This is where my conspiracy about the hookers comes into play.
I forgot about the hookers. I'm sorry, but no, we're back to the hookers.
We're back to the hookers.
Because he was talking about the fucking people, the dodgy people that were on the outside and everything, and I'm thinking, when there's dodgy people outside, usually there's hookers too. Right. So I'm thinking, he's away from Joan, and he's on him a linguine and clam high that he just can't get out of, and he just saw him some good tranny ass. So he's just like ready to experience fucking wherever the fuck they were at the way that it was meant to be. So he's fucking getting ready to fucking do that and everything. And he's setting that up, and so they let him have his privacy, and they cut to Dallas and Wayne. And you get to hear fucking Wayne, you know, give himself a little whoo out there, and you start hearing a bunch of coyotes.
Cheese stick 'em up 'em.
Cheese stick 'em up 'em. Yeah, but so you hear a bunch of coyotes answer, and you just see Wayne turn around like, see? Fucking Bigfoot. Fucking Bigfoot.
I told you here to go ahead.
And you see another scene later, which is fucking funny as fuck. So it's just, it's fucking comedy. So, like, alright, so the dumb fucking... The scene comes in where the guy, the creepy dude, comes in, he's talking about something attacked his dog. They were like
that's tweaker dude, yeah.
Clean looking cuts. They weren't
That was
like,
scary looking.
Yeah, like, I don't know, it didn't look...
Why wasn't it bleeding?
It was weird.
That's what I don't understand. Why wasn't that, like... That looked like it had already been cleaned and flushed by, like, a vet or something, and maybe somebody cut the stitches out of it just for the movie or something. Because if you look, there were little black marks around it, and I would almost say, as shitty as it sounds, like that dog had a fight with something, got stitched up by a vet or something, and they cut the stitches to show it on the fucking show. I mean, that's really what I hope didn't happen, but...
I don't know. I think that fucking tweaker sat there and cut that dog one night in his fucking psycho rage fucking thing, whatever they go into. He blacked out and started seeing fucking...
Maybe it was a demon or something to him. I don't know. But then we get
to fucking America and starts slicing the fucking dog. Yeah.
Rick to the rescue. He takes off his shirt, exposing his just so Adonis body. Hey, look, I'm a fat man, but at least I'm a cute fat man. All right. He literally looked like Hank Hill, taking his friggin' shirt off and cutting it up.
He was very marshmallowy.
Yeah, and tying it around this poor dog's neck. And all of a sudden now there was some gauze, too.
As marshmallowy.
Yeah,
so then the tweaker gets this scene where he's like talking about how he's trained with knives and everything. He's got that death stare look, you know, like he's gonna creep up on you in the middle of the night and get right in your ass.
Right in your ass, he sure
will. See, I said it, and you didn't do it, so I I was testing you, see? See, I'm catching on. I'm a slow learner, but I'm a learner.
But you are a learner. We've learned with words I replaced with fuck.
Yeah. This is the Rev's way to try and curb my language. I see how that works.
No, not at all.
So you get back to good old Bacardi Biscardi, and he stays in the hotel because
Got hookers.
his hooker's on the way, and Chico's going to stay with him because Chico probably got mad at him for laughing in that puddle, so he's like, hey, you know what?
Sloppy seconds.
Yeah. I'll get 2 hours, I'm going to go in the first 15, so you can have the rest of it, eh, Chico?
Let's just hold that back up. That one of the greatest Bigfoot trackers of our time, if you would ask him, stays in a hotel in Bigfoot country.
Yeah. So they're not very far away from wherever the hotel is, so I don't think they're
they're not staying out in Bigfoot country when they're the best Bigfoot trackers.
Right, they're not in a cowboy tent somewhere. They're at the Fleabag Motel.
At least douchebag McDyer is out
he
in a
went
tent
and camped with some fucking crazy psychos.
with a pussy ass fire with a bunch of meth head homeless people
that fucking torture animals.
That torture animals.
So then you get back to good old Dallas, and Dallas is cheese steak mama, mama, cheese steak mama, and you hear whoop whoop. See, there they are.
Then now in the closed captioning,
that ain't want no coyote.
In the closed captioning, it said unknown animal sounds.
No,
it did, and I'm like, no, that's an owl, bitch.
Yeah, that is clearly
an owl. Yeah, I mean, it's like woo-hoo. It wasn't just like a regular owl. It wasn't a great horned owl or something or a screech owl. It was I can't remember which owl particularly it was, but it was a well-known owl call, and it said unknown animal call on the screen. So like I said, the Brits pretty closed captioned this, so it makes it even funnier at times.
Yeah, so you get this whole scene where he's calling out to this thing, and it's clearly a fucking owl. And he's just like, see, I told you, and I just fucking love that about those guys. It's like, no, that's fucking Bigfoot. Shut your fucking mouth. I'll lay you out. And so you get fucking Dyer in that scene where he's looking through his scope and he's fucking like looking through the woods because they heard something, and then he says he saw a little girl walking in the fucking woods.
What the hell was that? Yeah, Mr. Ghost in the Woods moment.
Yeah. So then Matthews has like
the Blair Witch moment.
Yeah, his Blair Witch moment, and he crawls in the tent, and he's like sitting there talking.
Mama, if I don't come home, I'm sorry. I never meant to hurt anyone. Sorry.
Yeah. So then, fucking
Biscardi.
Yeah. So right after that, you get the Youngblood scene for like Youngblood is Biscardi's kid because Biscardi is
back in the hotel with his hooker.
doing what he's doing, Snapple time.
And Chico are hanging out at the hotel.
Yeah, him and
It's
Chico are
time, bitches.
making more memories to throw in their scrapbook of squashing adventures away from their wives. So there's that whole scene where Matthews is lost, and then the Youngblood dude's just sitting behind him, and there's that weird scene, and that it cuts, and you get Dyer, and Dyer fucking is flipping out. He heard a noise. He ain't got a shirt on. He's fucking running. He shoots like twice, and then he runs off. And then you get Matthews.
In his underpants.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he was in his underwear like a lot during this movie for some strange reason, like a lot.
When I'm in the woods, I'm in my tidy whities.
Yeah,
That's what makes him the greatest fucking actor. Is he didn't even need wardrobe. He didn't need to dress up like, all right, I'm gonna have this like Rick Grimes look, so I'm gonna grow my beard out, or I'm gonna fucking wear a hat and a leather jacket in Zombieland. Nope, he said,
I'm going to shave my whole body and put on tidy whities. That's what I'm going to do.
I'm going to do it in underwear, and we're going to fucking roll with it. And he did it.
It's like,
and
I
he
sleep
did a
in
great
my
fucking
boots
job.
in the fucking woods, and this guy's like all the way down to his boxer briefs in the tent.
This is dire natural.
So this is the last few moments of this movie that created such a fucking ruckus in the Bigfoot community when this was coming out, and the way that it was hyped up, and the way people were talking about it, and the way that some people were backing fucking Dyer, saying that fucking, hey, he's gonna fucking redeem himself with this. He's actually got footage, and then people fucking drove to fucking Canada to this fucking screening, or the first screening ever of this fucking movie, and it was like all over the fucking Sasquatch groups, and everybody was all fucking, oh my god, Dyer's gonna fucking show this fucking Bigfoot. And then this scene of Matthews fucking, Rick, I can't see anything but the Home Depot lights, Rick, where are you? Rick. And then this guy wearing the fucking troll mask comes and fucking pummels
him pretty good.
Matthews over, and you get this kind of scene of like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre kind of end of the movie where you only get a bit of his face, and it's like, you know, and that was your
one click better than the Blair Witch Project.
So then after you hear the fucking thump of Matthews falling, you hear a gunshot, and then another thump, right? So then fucking this is where my part of the video goes to an end.
Now, it just like asses out.
So,
well, in the actual rest of the movie, that literally is the end. Matthews gets on a plane, and he's all like beat up. I mean, he's got like a black eye. He's got some cuts on his face, on his head from where he was knocked down. I mean, he literally took a hit. So if he was in on part of the hoax, then he counted on that. If he wasn't in on the hoax, then he got his ass beat for nothing.
Or he watched a 9-minute YouTube video on how to do bruise makeup.
It cuts to him and Dyer back in the tent, and Dyer's going, "Well, I'm going to see it. You got to show it to me. Push play. How to rewind this thing?" Finally, they rewind it to the freeze frame on, Squatch Face, right into the camera, and it's just like, and cut, and it's over because now it's an argument between Rick Dyer and Morgan Matthews about who owns the tape. That's my tape in there, motherfucker. Fuck you, Rick Dyer. And I guess literally, if Morgan wasn't in on the hoax, Dick Ryder wanted the tape, and Morgan wasn't going to give it to him. And that's where they split ways. And then we see Morgan on the friggin' plane going home, and then it's cut to the aftermath. It's, we literally learn nothing else about Dallas and Wayne. We don't see anything else about friggin' Biscardi. It's all about cutting to the interview that somebody got with Jeff afterwards going, the shooting was definitely all staged. But, did they have a suit? Well, I saw all their stuff, so I didn't see no suit. But that didn't mean that Dick wasn't having somebody in town come from the local hotel up to friggin' play the part of the Bigfoot that night.
It could just be a bunch of fucking beard hair taped to that rack of fucking ribs. I mean, really, like the kind of footage that you get, like you really could just be seeing fucking a rack of ribs coming at you with hair at it, and he just got pummeled.
Let's all be honest. To pull off that shot that they pulled off, it would take just knowing, maybe a guy here or there that could do that. We all know our guy from Clone Effects that could probably do something by our request to make whatever happen. So not out of the norm to be like, okay, hey, we have this film. We're gonna create this drama at the end. There was drama beginning. All like the characters are supposed to create drama and tension, and then boom, there's a Sasquatch. So here's the deal. Circle back to before the film was released, and the group that's no longer, because they said that they would disband if this was not true.
Facebook Find
Bigfoot was all in on this. There were a ton of people I've talked to that were all in on this because there's no way that they'd make a documentary out of this if it wasn't real. And Hank, the freaking plastic puppet with hair taped to it that that Rick Dyer presented to us, that was shot from the quote tent video that looked nothing like Hank out of a blue tent in the broad daylight, was captured out of this fucking movie in the dark in black and white under obviously lights, because it's in black and white. It wasn't green. It wasn't like and by the way, the green thing is like
night vision.
The night vision thing is like totally like it's bunk. All you have to do is go black and white or wash things in green, and it looks like night vision. So anyway, it was in lights, and all of a sudden, none of that makes sense. It's all a big fallacy, and people still argue that there was some legitimacy to this fucking movie. It was a great movie. It starred some of the greatest douchebags and most lovable, misguides of the Bigfoot community. And Morgan Matthews did a great job of tying that up in a really interesting and fun to watch. I had fun watching this.
No, it's a good watch.
I totally enjoy it. I watch it probably once every couple of months.
I think people outside of the community would also enjoy watching this, just because of how well it all goes together.
No, yeah, it really does. And you really do. Oh, my bad. Sorry. Go ahead, Dave.
But as far as the absolute, like, hey, there was a creature there. There was something to this. There was a reason this movie was made. It's totally 100% just a fabrication. It's viral marketing, and Rick Dyer is the king of that within our community. Within the 800 people that really, really follow this, he's really got us all by the balls, right? And I mean, did a fantastic job of presenting himself and his case, and like sustaining his preconceived hoax that revolved around this entire thing.
Right. That's the whole thing. That's what's happened with the birth of Hank. After all of this mess was going on, waiting for the movie to come out, Rick Dyer declares that his dead Bigfoot is in a facility, but it's going to be going on tour. And all of a sudden now, he's got a Bigfoot trailer with Hank under glass, and he's going on tour of Texas to the alehouses. Wes?
So this is in the can. He does a tent video, tricks Facebook, find Bigfoot, does the entire thing. Like, it's all pre-planned based on... Probably that's why he wanted to see the footage. Wait, what did it look like? Oh, I could pull this off. I can pull this off. It's happening.
But you don't understand. There was way more to it. So many more people were involved in. There was this other guy who's a part of Facebook Finding Bigfoot or whatever, and then there was another guy that wasn't.
Allen.
Yes. And he fucking supposedly...
I'll go and verify it.
Yeah.
You people pay for me to go up there, and then Rick Dyer will let me see the body, and I will verify it, Mr. Muskie. I'm a dickhead garbage man, Allen, which isn't his real name.
He literally, there was like this 20-something minute interview that was getting passed around, and people were talking about, and literally this guy's just fucking talking about how he walked around this fucking thing and legitimately bought it. You can see it on TV and tell that thing's fake as fuck. And this guy was in the same fucking room. Same room as it.
No, he probably wasn't, because Muskie Allen and I had a lot of back and forths prior to this on Facebook Find Bigfoot and in other groups when I actually subscribed to a bunch of Sasquatch groups, and this is like a long time ago when I actually cared to have banter back and forth with the internet trolls. So this guy is an absolute internet troll, and he was like, oh yeah, I'll do it. Dyer found him. He found him. He selected him because he was willing to do it. They went down. He probably did fly to Vegas. He probably went down there. He probably hung out with Dyer. They probably had a big yuck about the whole thing. Didn't see anything, and went on radio and talked about it.
And lied about it.
And
lied
about
it. Went and lied about it outright. Yeah, motherfucker, I touched it. Mm-hmm, it was beautiful.
I
And,
poked
yeah, it's
around
definitely-
in it with a stick.
Poke around in it with a stick.
Yeah.
Right, that's how every good scientist knows it gets done. You got to poke around.
But obviously there's no reason to lie on the internet.
No, not at all.
But so these guys were totally in cahoots. They built up this whole thing. Dyer maybe gets royalties as an actor because he probably divulged to Morgan Matthews that he was totally full of shit going into this, and he's like, hey, you know what, I'm an actor, so I will get paid off of this, versus being the subject of the documentary and probably not getting paid. So he wanted to push this, he wanted to peddle this.
Mhm.
If Biscardi thought that he could peddle that, he would have.
Yeah.
And so Rick Dyer found the aspect that he could, and he did, and that's the fucking reason that we all saw it. To be honest,
Yeah.
to give credit where credit is due, that's the fucking reason I watched that movie.
Yeah. And I gotta, again, because at least he follows through with his hoaxery and gives you the final product. So thank you. Hats off again, Mr. Dyer, because Mr. Todd Standing, I'm still waiting to see the first fucking hoax documentary because I ain't paying fucking $9 for that shit.
If I had a hat, I would tip it and say, hey, you made something of this piece.
Yeah.
Because without Rick Dyer, unfortunately, this is probably another one that's kind of swept under the rug for most of us, but there was such a fervor going into this with enlisting Facebook Find Bigfoot, with enlisting Muskie Helen, with I mean, there was a projected marketing scheme for the promotion of this video, which just premiered somewhere in Canada, and then like all of a sudden we've all seen it. We've all seen it. It's crazy, and yeah, so. You really
We've all
have to,
seen it mostly for free on YouTube.
but whatever, like
However it became available.
However it became available, we would not have searched for it if it hadn't been for this virulent promotion, and good on you for that. But that's why we need to realize why or what people are doing and why. And look at the motives behind these claims, these ridiculous claims, the Melba Ketchum claims, the David Pilates claims, the Todd Standing claims, like all of this fucking bullshit that gets put into perspective. What is the purpose? Okay, the purpose is that he was trying to promote a movie that was actually pretty well done. And really showed people for what they are. It didn't show Rick Dyer in a good light, but Rick Dyer wanted to promote it because it was promotion. It's self-promotion. It was the right thing to do for him. And fuck it, call a spade, and that's what it was. And that's what Hank was, and that's what the tent video was. That's what everything was just promoting what was good for Rick Dyer. And he was successful.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Well,
he was successful.
Yeah, he really was. And I'm kind of on this
Again.
thing,
I hate that guy. Again.
Where Rick Dyer, kind of like how Rev Jeff is a character, I think Rick Dyer is also a character that he plays. And
everybody hate that guy.
And he was the only one that was legitly lying and playing a character, because Biscardi, he's just a piece of shit and he's being himself. He's being a piece of shit and being lazy and fucking, linguine and clams and fucking, you got Dallas and Wayne and
hotels and hookers.
Hotels and hookers and fucking
bread and hot dogs.
Yeah, and then with Dallas and Wayne, they full on believe everything that they're doing. They're not fucking saying, they believe that fucking smudge is a Bigfoot, and they'll fucking die saying it. And if they took a lie detector test, they believe that they were fucking saying it. So they'd fucking pass it, and then you'd be like, holy fuck, they saw Bigfoot.
They are legit.
Yeah, that's why I say they're the most credible, because if you put them in a lie detector, I guarantee you they fucking win. And they'd pass it. Flying colors.
Yep.
You know,
And for you people out there that are just going to be a pain in the ass, damn it, see, it takes a second or two for this friggin' thing to start off.
Oh, did I say that?
For people that are going to be a pain in the ass, to say, well, why didn't they do it with good Bigfoot researchers, blah, 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 blah. They made another mockumentary just like this one. It's called The Bigfoot Files.
Yeah.
Go watch that one, because that's with the good Bigfoot people. These are the clownish people of the Bigfoot. I like that one, but
they still had some clowns on the
Yeah.
fucking. Because I'm sorry, the dude that was on the one where they go looking for the honesty. I'm sorry, but Igor, whatever.
Yeah. We'll talk about that when we get to that show.
Yeah, but
We're going to be getting to that show soon.
But he rides with that lady that gives garlic to Bigfoot.
When people are talking, why didn't some guy from the UK, where there's like not even trees anymore, there's like some rocks and grass blowing around, why does this guy, taking this tongue-in-cheek, I don't believe the Bigfoot aspect of Bigfoot, because that's the most logical place to go with that. So if you go there and you make a movie, you know that you're going to make the movie you wanted to make. And I think that he probably had a surprise or two along the way, but he chose the people he chose. Morgan Matthews chose those people very particularly
because it would be entertaining.
Because it would be entertaining, and it was, and anybody who wants that to be like some sort of evidence-based anything, no, game over, man.
I bet you that the whole thing with it called shooting Bigfoot and everything like that, I bet you on British TV it was aired as America's Bigfoot. You know, or something like they fucking edited in some like meldrum and some shit, you know, to make it look sciencey, and then fucking threw in fucking these guys.
I think that was exactly what that film needed to be, and it really just showed the aspects that they were expecting to show, based on who they chose to go in there, and it was good. It was entertaining. And I was pleasantly surprised when I watched this piece, and everybody should. Shooting Bigfoot, and remember where it comes from.
That's right. Yeah. 2 thumbs up from the Reverend. I say watch it well. If you didn't think it was funny the first time, well, then don't watch it again, but at least give it one shot. If you giggled a few times, give it about a month, watch it a second time. You'll see a whole lot more funny scenes.
Joan, give me a Snapple.
Wes, what are you thinking, buddy? Where's your thumbs going on this one?
I'm gonna give Dallas and Wayne 2 thumbs up for them and everything, but as for the rest of the movie, 2 nice middle fingers, because you're all a bunch of fucking assholes.
What about you there, David? Dr. David Batdorf, Esquire.
For this one, I actually have to give Rick Dyer it's a new award right now. It's a brass award, the Biggie. It's kind of like the Oscar, the Biggie.
Yeah.
For his acting skills, and then also the subsequent promotion, and bullshittery and suck my balls.
Another trademark for Squatch It All Entertainment.
That's right.
And Dyer gets the Biggie.
And Dyer's awarded the Biggie from Bigfoot Entertainment Weekly for this week. Well, thank you, everybody, for joining us. We're long, I know it, but this is going to be a really fun one to watch, so I don't really give a fuck. As usual, we're going to sign out of here tonight. David, you got anything to sign out with, buddy?
We might be skipping the Squatchers Lounge this week. I'm on vacation and out of town, but back next week. Ooh-ha.
So that's decided. We hadn't decided that pre-show. I guess David has now decided that post-show, so we're going to skip the show. However, when we do come back, we've got a brand new segment for you called Bigfoot in America. That's right. We're going to take a look at the Ohio Grassman. So join us, not this Wednesday, but the following Wednesday. Wes, your final thoughts for the night, buddy?
No.
After that box,
Just
had
no.
For that, I'm out of here tonight. So thank everybody for watching. May the squash be with you.
Oh,
and here is
wait,
tonight's
no.
edition
Oh, there you go.
of
There you go.
What the Fuck Theater. Thanks, guys.
I thought you were going to forget it. My bad.
Nobody forgets.
No.
When we last caught up with the fellas in What the Fuck Theater, your old pal Wes had just found out that the Rev was walking into a trap in Tennessee. Sally Field lay in wait as he negotiates the snowy mountain passes. The next moment we come to in a dirty double bid, with the Rev tied hand and foot to its posts. Let's join in.
Huh? Why are my hands and feet tied? What? Sally, you bitch! Why do you have me tied to this bed?
Because, my dear Reverend, I'm going to teach you not to fuck with the dark side of your grundle.
My gooch?
Silence!
The dark side of... Where the fuck is my grundle? Bitch, untie me this minute, before I have to use my grundle powers and deactivate you.
Remember, Reverend son, use your fearing.
Just like that, I could feel my grundle once more, calling me from the room next door, but it would not respond to my commands. Sally, what are you getting over there? Well, why do you have a sledgehammer in your hand? You're not going to do what the hell I think you're going to do.
Why, yes, Reverend. You see, I am a female, so I need your grundle holster so I can have your grundle and it will be mine forever.
Just then, as Sally raises her hammer to pummel my grundle, the door burst open, and it's your old pal Wes to the rescue.
Drop that motherfucking hammer before you get fucking psychometrized, bitch. Don't worry, Rev. I'll cut you free.
Thanks, brother. I was nearly a goner there. Let me call my grundle. Finally, reunited once more with my grundle, and I read the instruction manual. Go, grundle, catch that!
Oh, damn, dude. You got it right in the eye. Oh, gross. Oh, shit. Quick, get her. She's escaping.
Yeah, sorry. There's still some bugs we're sort of working out. Snatch that bitch.
My bad, man. Whew, she got away. She got away on a helicopter. But I found some clues of where they're heading. Let's get to the Bigfoot.
Will Wes and the Rev find Sally's destination? Will the Rev ever get his grundle figured out? Tune in next time to find out more. Same Squatchy channel, same Squatchy time.